So I think we're gonna do something fun today. I got some bison from Wild Fork Foods. I was ordering a few different things from there and saw these bison sirloin steaks, and I picked one up. It's only a half a pound, but I just decided to do some jerky with it. So we're gonna do some bison jerky today. Again, not that much. I just thought it would be fun to use the bison for that. So we'll go ahead and get started, bring you back, and we'll get everything set up. Okay, so here is our bison steak. Again, from Wild Fork Foods. I actually really like them. Not sponsored by any means, but they have a lot of different cuts, and I've found them all to be really good. You can get prime stuff. So I decided to do jerky just because I haven't done jerky in a while, and bison should be pretty lean. I believe it is. And you want to use lean meat for jerky because the fat can be what turns rancid. This is so small, we're not going to keep it for a while. I'm not even going to use a cure, so it's not like it's got to sit for very long. But I am going to clean it up just a little bit here. Get some of these fat pieces cleaned off the side here. There we go. I don't want to take too much of the meat just because it's so small anyway. Piece off there. There's some. I think I'm going to go ahead and take this chunk off. That's not going to slice very well anyway. I might cook that up for the dog. Just throw it in a frying pan. He'll enjoy that. Take this edge off. And that's going to be about it. So before I do anything else, I am going to get this in the freezer. It'll be much easier to slice when it is partially frozen. So I'm just going to get this in the freezer. I'm probably just going to put it right on this plastic mat. And while that is in the freezer for 20 to 30 minutes, I'm going to get the ingredients out for our marinade, and we'll bring you back here in just a minute. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get our marinade together while our meat is in the freezer. So I've got all the ingredients here, so we'll just start getting them going. So I'm going to use a couple of tablespoons each of some Worcestershire sauce. I'm using W Sauce, which I really love. And I'm actually using the Fireshire kind, which I'm a big fan of. Also, about the same amount of soy sauce. I could certainly measure this out. I just not that worried about it. Gonna use just a skosh of apple cider vinegar. Not that much at all. Even less amount of liquid smoke, and I'm using liquid smoke because I'm gonna do this in the dehydrator. If you wanted to do it in the smoker, you don't even need to add this, and this stuff, a little goes a long way. I would rather have not enough than too much, so just gonna dribble a little bit in there. Also, never a bad thing to add some crushed red pepper for some spice. Just gonna eyeball that. Got a little brown sugar to add some sweetness. I forgot a spoon for this. So I'm just going to add maybe a teaspoon, something like that. Not that much. Going to add just a little bit of onion powder. I got a quarter teaspoon, or yeah, what is it, a half teaspoon, or no, a quarter teaspoon is what I want to add. But I'm not going to worry about getting that exact. I'm just going to sprinkle some in. Got some garlic powder, same deal, quarter teaspoon. But again, I'm just going to add some. And then I've got some Malcolm's King Craw Cajun seasoning. You can add your favorite barbecue rub, whatever that is, whatever you got on hand. Just going to add a splash of that, about the same amount as the onion and the garlic powder. And that's going to do it. I just got a little whisk here. Gonna get that all mixed up. So there we go. That's gonna be enough for our little half-pound bison steak. So we'll bring you back. We'll get that sliced up and we'll keep this going. See you in a few. All right, so here's our bison sirloin. It's been in the freezer probably 25 minutes. I actually wouldn't have minded leaving it in a little bit longer, but I need to get this show on the road. So we're just gonna start making slices. You know, you could use a slicer if you wanted, you know, even slices. I'm gonna do the best I can to make them even, but you know, I can only do so much with a knife. So we're just gonna start cutting thin slices. You can cut them as thin or as thick as you want. And as far as, you know, how you cut them, you can go with or against the grain. So if you go with the grain, it's going to be, you know, pretty chewy. If you go against the grain, you can, it'll be less chewy. You can tear pieces off pretty easily. I like them both ways, to be honest with you. It doesn't matter that much to me. Part of me likes a chewy piece of jerky. So I'll shut up and we'll just get this sliced and go on from there. Jerky. So just to give you kind of a close-up of how this is sliced. I don't know if you can see that. I could have probably gone a little thinner. I certainly could have gone a little thinner if the meat was more frozen, but this is going to be fine. So I've got a quart-size Ziploc bag. I thought a quart would be enough. It actually looks kind of small, but I think I can make it work since I've already got it out. But we're just going to drop our slices in there. Here we go. Oh yeah, it'll be fine. Got my marinade here. I'm going to give that a final whisk just to make sure we don't leave a lot of our seasonings in there. And by the way, I tried that. It tastes really good. So I'm going to try to get all of that out of there as best I can. I'm not going to get a scraper or anything, but try to get it all out. There we go. And now we're just going to take the air out of this as much as we can. You could use a food saver vacuum sealer if you wanted. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And we're just going to massage that in. And I'm going to put this in the fridge. It's going to stay there overnight. And I will get in there and I will just kind of give it a mix maybe 2 or 3 times in the next 12 to 16 hours. I'll probably do this mid-morning to early afternoon tomorrow, something like that. So that's gonna marinate, get all flavorful, and we will bring you back tomorrow when we get the dehydrator out. And I'll talk about how we're gonna do it on the dehydrator and how you can do it if you don't have a dehydrator. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so here we go. We've got our beef jerky that's been marinating for 16, 18 hours, something like that, not quite a day. I've just got it in this bowl here. Smells terrific. So I know the light isn't great out here, so I apologize if seeing is a little difficult. We're going to use the dehydrator. It's just an easy way to do it. I've added the liquid smoke, but you could totally do this in your oven, your offset smoker, your pellet cooker. You just want to try to keep the temperature, at least the way I like it, in the neighborhood of 160 to 170. I know some ovens don't quite go that low. I think ours is 170. So if I did it in the oven, I would be opening the door now and again, letting a little heat out. But I've done this on multiple pellet cookers. I've done this on the offset before. It all works great. So what we're going to do, and I think one tray is going to suffice here, so it's a lot of sound and fury for not much beef jerky, or bison jerky, I should say. We're just going to lay the strips out, and if I need to get another rack, I've got them handy. But I don't think I will. So we're going to try to get them flat. You don't want them touching, but they are going to shrink up, so it's not a big deal to have a lot of gap in between them. I want to try to get this all on one rack, so I'm definitely going to get them pretty close. All right, so there we go. Barely fit, which is nice. It doesn't matter if they touch, in my experience. What you don't want them to do is overlap. You don't want one laying on top of another. It just won't dry out well, won't work well. But this should be good. Smells great again. I don't dry these off or anything. I put them in, soaked in the marinade, and to me that works well. And the flavor's great. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put this rack, I'm gonna put actually the tray in the bottom first, and that's just to make it easier to clean up. And then we'll slide the rack in, just putting it in the middle since I only have one. Okay, now I gotta remember how to use this. We'll figure it out. So let's go temperature, we're gonna go We're gonna go 160. And then time, that's 4 hours. I'm gonna up that. I actually don't, oops. I don't think this will take probably 3 hours, but I don't want to have to worry about it going off. So that's the way we're gonna do it. And then start. So there we go. Again, sorry for the lighting conditions out here. It's just kind of early morning, and I'm in the shade anyway. I'm gonna have to figure that out for future videos, but we'll bring you back. Probably be, maybe I'll bring you back sometime in the middle just to look at it, but essentially it's just gonna be a few hours of waiting. So see you soon. So we're about an hour and a half in here, and I thought we'd take a look. I'm sure it's not ready, but we'll see. So you can see, hopefully you can see how much this is shrank. And I tell you, it's closer to, oh, maybe you can't see that. This lighting is bad, sorry about that. But definitely getting some larger gaps between the pieces. Smells really good. Let's just take one of these. And yeah, it's not quite done. It's bending, not breaking. I don't want it to break, but this is still a little fibrous. I'm gonna go ahead and try this though. That flavor's great. Perfect amount of salt with the soy sauce and the W sauce. Little spice. It's gonna be good. So we're gonna let this keep going and we'll bring you back. It's been about 15 minutes since I checked the jerky and tried that piece. And I was just sitting inside thinking, my goodness, that is so freaking good. It's done. I'm calling it done because it was awesome. And this is not going to last in our house the rest of the day. So I'm not worried about it being completely dry. Some of the larger pieces, it's close anyway. So there is our jerky. Man, it's freaking good. Actually, I think I want to take this tray out. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna turn off the dehydrator. I might use this dehydrator later today for something else. We'll see. And we're just going to let this cool off and drop it into a Ziploc bag. And there's no way this beef jerky, this bison jerky, is not gonna be gone in 2 hours today. So small batch. Next time I'm gonna do a larger batch. That marinade is absolutely outstanding. I might get an eye of round to do another batch sometime and really do a lot of it and also cure it as part of this so it will last a long time. So I think that's going to do it for this video. I'll try to make it a little shorter, although I am yammering. So let's try one more. Let's try one of these really small pieces that is much more dry. That's so freaking good. That one was spicy. Really good though. We'll see you next time at BuQeye BBQ. Thanks for joining. Like and subscribe if you don't mind.